another problem which we were having on the left hand side was with the Pirani gauge. So what we were having here, it wasn't reading the proper pressure. So when it was at atmosphere, the value we were expecting is 1 × 10⁻³ millibars. However, the registered value that this was giving us was something like 4 × 10⁻⁻⁻1 millibars when it was exposed to atmospheric. So that's four orders of magnitude off. So there's obviously something wrong with it. So are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the past few days, we have been trying to figure out why we can't rough down the left-hand diff pump. So we've managed to get a vacuum on the top half. So we identified that there was a leak somewhere on the bottom half, and it's unlikely, or highly unlikely, that it would have been on the bottom of this left-hand diff pump, because they're all these connections are all welded. So it most likely be in the connections between the diff pump and the rougher pump. So so we were basically trying to just change all these connections around to see what combinations of connections we could use to identify where the problem was, and none of them were working. So we couldn't get a vacuum on the bottom, and we just found a plug in just a drawer somewhere. We thought that we're sort of out of ideas, so we just sort of plugged it up, and it just actually got a pretty good vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
So we now know that that it isn't leaking out of the actual diff pump, which would have been very bad, because that would have just been totaled it basically. We would have had to get a new diff pump. Now we basically just need to clean all of the connections in between the rotary pump and the diff pump, re-grease all of the O-rings in between, or gasket valves. May have to get some more of these if they're cracked, because then that can let air in. So hopefully after we've done all of that, we might actually be able to get a vacuum on the bottom of the left-hand diff pump, and then hopefully we'll be able to get a vacuum on the whole thing. Put this speedy back kind of fitting on the end, just to test whether we're going to do it stage by stage, just so then we know exactly, okay, this one is working, then we're going to move on to the next one. So we've just got the bung in here, if you can see, and so we're just testing if we can get a vacuum. We're looking for about, basically 10⁻⁻�3.
Yeah, this is a converter from the old SpeedyVac system to the new K25 pipes that we're using. So that's quite precious. I think we have one replacement part for that.
So here it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now.
It just consists of this part here, and then we've got a metal fitting that slides over the top and slides into that other one, you can see. Yeah. And then the gasket on top.
Yeah.
Like
and it switches between two sizes of pipe, basically.
Yeah, so it switches from the old one, this is the old SpeedyVacs, and then it just goes like that. Then this is the new fitting.
The K25 fitting.
Or we can fit these on.
Yeah, this that's an end cap, for example.
Goes on there. So what we're doing at the moment is we're currently roughing down the whole system. We managed to find a leak, and it was just down here. So we've just changed the pipes and re-greased everything. So we're now roughing down the whole system, and we're getting 9.5 × 10⁻³ on the left-hand side Pirani gauge, and we are getting about 6 × 10⁻³ on the right-hand Pirani gauge. So now we're just turning on the water. We did have a bit of a leak earlier, an actual, well, a water leak this time.
Yeah.
So after we get the water up and running, we'll be able to set the diff pumps on and see what vacuum we can pull on the whole thing. So yeah, we were having a problem with the input on the left-hand side diff pump, just this tube here. We were just having a leak here. It was probably because when we thought there was a leak here, when in fact it's here, we took apart the whole of the diff pump, and that required us to take apart the water. So when we just put it back in, it must have just not been a tight seal. We are currently still pulling a vacuum using both of the diff pumps. However, the right-hand diff pump is pulling a vacuum on the whole of the tube, as we've got it cut off over here. The reason why we've done that is because we think the left-hand penning gauge is not giving us the right readings. So that is why Max is changing it. We have a spare, so thought we'd give it a go. We're getting down to a good vacuum just using the left-hand side on the whole experiment.
Sweet. Yeah, so we basically reconstructed the whole thing now. You saw us put the oil in the left-hand diff pump. So we've reconnected the left-hand rotary pump, reassembled the diff pump, all the components are back in there. Put all the pipes in place. We haven't got any magnets or anything or any gratings in. Purely just attached it all together so we can see what kind of vacuum we can pull. We've put, rather than the crucible on the end here, we've just got like a little end cap part just to close off this side. So yeah, we're gonna turn it on and see what kind of vacuum we can get. Everything's closed, that's good. We can start with the roughing. Good, immediately going down. There's it fine. I'm going to set it up. I'll start. So we can switch between the left and right Arani gauges, which are these little square ones on the end. I don't know if you can see it from that angle. These go down to about 10 to the minus 3, and then we switch over to the penning gauges. But I've got to open up some valves. Interesting.
Shall I do it on the other side as well?
Yeah.
It'll bring it down, it's just trying to pull the whole thing.
Yeah, I better do the thing as well. I feel like I can hear a leak. Oh no, it's coming down.
I feel like I can hear a leak from over there.
That's what, yeah. Oh no, it's just stopped.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It's coming down.
Fine. It's going down now, isn't it?
It's going down, yeah.
Perfect. Oof. Nice. This is good.
So yeah.
I'll just turn the flow up a bit more. Not that we need it right now, but...
Well, once we've roughed out the system, we'll switch on the diff pumps. So, is the flow rate okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's going to fall down again.
Okay. Alright.
I don't think there's a problem, right? Whatever.
Yeah, this is the first time
we've
got the whole thing running now. So, yeah, that's good.